I was bombarded with pleas from everybody I knew not to do it because I was so wrong for it. I had people saying, please don't do it because I've always been in love with this character, and if you do it, it'll change all that. I had people saying, no, you can't, Colin. He's supposed to be sexy. It's just not going to work.
So what swung it then?
It's very odd. If you battle over something long enough, you get involved without realizing. I still didn't see anything to play because the guy doesn't speak most of the time. And that's one of the biggest stretches because anyone who knows me, and you're beginning to gather now, that it's very difficult to shut me up. And part of the biggest stretch was how do you shut me up enough for 6 hours to play this guy? And there was she does not write men from the inside, Jane Austen. She doesn't dare. There isn't a single dialogue in the whole of her canon which depicts a conversation between two men alone, because she didn't presume to know what two men would talk about when there's not a woman present. And so I just thought, this is a guy who stands and smoulders for 6 hours, and it'll drive people, to despair. And then I was about to say no, when I realized that saying no meant someone else would get to do it. And then I felt rather territorial about it. And I thought, I don't think I could bear that now. I've been tussling with this for whatever it was, 2 months. And the idea of somebody else taking it on just made me, I got a bout of jealousy about it. I've very rarely done anything in which I feel such a completely uncomplicated sense of satisfaction in the response that it's got. I don't enjoy watching films I'm in very much. It's a grisly experience. Most actors will say the same thing. But to sit and watch this group of skeptics, which is what it usually was, sit in a room, and there will be some curmudgeons out there who will have come out skeptical, but I think that they probably should go and sort themselves out. You sit there and the film begins and you see that sitting like this. This is the body language in the first 5 or 10 minutes. And then you see them begin to loosen up, and then you see one shoulder sort of go and another. And by Act 2, they're, the whole thing is a sea of kind of bizarre mobility, and then everyone's on their feet. Normally we see the film once, see it twice, and then, we don't need to keep sitting through it. And you go off and have dinner or something. This is the one where I wanted to see it. I loved seeing that happen. I wanted to see it happen in Amsterdam. I wanted to see it happen in Berlin. I wanted to see it in Stockholm. I loved seeing that progress of an audience from snobbery to abandonment. I didn't, if you have fellow actors, it takes an awful lot of pressure off, because not only are you bantering with your colleagues, but you're also engaged with someone that's going to be there when you shoot, in front of the camera, doing your job with you. And most of that wasn't happening. So when Julianne Moore showed up, that was just 3 days. And I had the most wonderful 3 days where the joy of having a fellow actor was so great that actually getting on with the job and shooting a scene was an interruption. I mean, I remember deeply resenting it when Tom Ford said action.
And in the heart of the film, the sort of crucible of the film, are the encounters that he has with the speech therapist played by Geoffrey Rush. I mean, was there a sense when you saw the script start with that these scenes were going to be so much the heart of it, so powerful?
Oh, yes. I mean, we knew they were the heart of it. I can't remember how long the shoot was, but Geoffrey had to be dispensed back to Australia for some play after 5 or 6 weeks with us, and we lost him. And then, in some ways, it galvanized us to look for the substance in what lay in the rest of the film. But there's no getting away from the fact that the real MacGuffin, if you like, is what happens between these two men.